This is the first time I've been abroad since the election, and I've lost count of how many times I've gotten that look of awe and sympathy that I get when I tell people I'm from the States. In the past few weeks, I've been to the UK, I've been to Lithuania, I've been to Latvia, I've been to Estonia, I've been to Sweden, I've been to Norway, I've been to Finland, I've been to the Åland Islands, and everywhere I go, I get the look.
Being an American right now is actually so fucking embarrassing. I mean, like, maybe it's been a little bit embarrassing before, but right now, especially, all the countries are looking at us like we are insane. I want y'all to know a lot of us that are here are not liking at all what is going on, okay?
So I'm starting to see videos of Americans getting upset and defensive because people outside the USA are criticizing us and wondering why we don't rise up against our fascist-ass government. And I just want to say to all the Americans that are getting defensive and complaining, shut the fuck up. We are pathetic.
Hello good people, welcome to African Commentary. Here we learn and grow every day, and if you're new here, kindly consider subscribing, liking and sharing the videos. I will really appreciate. So in today's video we are going to talk about how the world views America right now. And this comes even from the Americans themselves. Right now, they're coming out feeling embarrassed, feeling unsafe in their own country, in their own nation. And so before I speak much, let's watch some videos. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below.
This is the first time I've been abroad since the election, and I've lost count of how many times I've gotten that look of awe and sympathy that I get when I tell people I'm from the States. In the past few weeks, I've been to the UK, I've been to Lithuania, I've been to Latvia, I've been to Estonia, I've been to Sweden, I've been to Norway, I've been to Finland, I've been to the Åland Islands, and everywhere I go, I get the look. I have never been ashamed of my country, never been ashamed of my country. I served it for 16 years, and what I've had to do over here, after the 5th or 6th or 7th conversation, I had to tell them, I'm from Canada. I can't even claim my own fucking country. This administration that's coming in has painted a target on our backs. I'll always love my country, but I fucking hate the cowards. The cowards.
Being from the U.S. is so embarrassing. I'm in Panama, and I was wondering why yesterday was Ley Seca when they banned the sale of alcohol. It was day of mourning. I was like, oh, tell me more. They're like, well, actually commemorating the day that the U.S. invaded and killed a bunch of our people. 1989, there was a leader. They wanted to oust him, and so they came here and they fucked up a lot of innocent civilians. We commemorate this day as a day of mourning, and we don't sell any alcohol that day either. Of course. How embarrassing. So I'm being told this, and they're like, oh, where are you from? I said Jamaica.
So I'm starting to see videos of Americans getting upset and defensive because people outside the USA are criticizing us and wondering why we don't rise up against our fascist-ass government. And I just want to say to all the Americans that are getting defensive and complaining, shut the fuck up. We are pathetic. We are cowardly. We are complacent. And we are just pathetic. We are genuinely one of the worst groups of people to ever fucking exist. And history's gonna look back at us and ask the same goddamn question. Why were so many of us so willing to sit by, keep our heads down, and watch this shit happen right the fuck in front of us? We are only 4% of the global population. There are 8 billion people out there, and we impact almost every single one of them to some degree. Okay? We are the motherfucking bad guys. We impact the entire globe. Our foreign policy literally kills tens of millions of people if you look at the last decades, century. But like, this is a historical truth. This is a truth in the moment. This is objective fucking reality. And there is no excuse good enough that you could offer up to people outside this country who we are fucking every single day that would rationalize why we're not rising up against this shit. We are the bad guys, and we deserve all of the motherfucking criticism and so much more that is coming our way right now. I'm sorry that you're just now waking up to the reality of what the fuck we are, what the fuck you live in, and how much we impact people. But when they say that our problems inside this country are small compared to how we impact the globe, they are right. Our internal policies impact 4% of the world. But guess what? We impact 8 billion people. The other 96% of people that don't fucking live here, they are still impacted by what we fucking do. But you're so individualistic, you're so selfish, you're so me, that you think your petty little fucking concerns are bigger than rising up against the worst motherfucking government possibly to ever exist when you consider the technology that we have at our disposal. When you consider how embedded we are within the financial system across the world, when you consider the reach of our fucking military and its global presence, we are arguably the worst group of people to ever to fucking exist when you consider our impact. So we deserve all the fucking criticism. And if you don't like that shit, I can only assume it's because you're not doing enough.
I created a series on how the world views the US. It has been viewed over 100 million times, and I have hundreds of thousands of comments from people all over the world. So I'm uniquely qualified to comment on how the rest of the world sees people in the US. And to my fellow Americans, I'm gonna hold your hand while I say this. We are not well-liked. We are downright hated by so many people in so many other countries. We are an active threat to the rest of the world. We elected a dangerous human being and put him in charge of things that affect people all around the globe. And just like many of us here in the US, they are suffering as a result, and they don't like it. We are actively hated by one of our biggest historical allies, Canada. So if you're an American and you find yourself traveling outside of the US, you better make it really clear that you are not a Trump.
Being an American right now is actually so fucking embarrassing. I mean, like, maybe it's been a little bit embarrassing before, but right now, especially, all the countries are looking at us like we are insane. I want y'all to know a lot of us that are here are not liking at all what is going on, okay? We're embarrassed, okay? And we're also a little bit scared of what's going on too.
Americans deserve all of the judgment from the rest of the world. I am heartbroken. I feel like the entire country hates me and hates my friends, and I feel like a lot of people chose like a couple more dollars in their bank account over human rights and decency and rule of law and, a lot of the values that this country was founded on. And I think it's going to take a while for me personally to really come to grips with it. Unlike in 2016, he has a clear mandate. This is what the majority of the country wanted. They wanted this monster in office. You are not going to be hearing from me about how amazing the US is as a whole. Maybe I'll continue speaking to how great California and New York are, but we're a lost people for now. Europeans, come at us.
I don't think Americans in the United States realize how the rest of the world sees us. Let me give you an example. A while back, I was having a conversation with my friend. Now, my friend lives here in Mexico. She's Mexican, and her daughter was going to study in the United States, or thinking about going to study in the United States for university. And she was saying to me how worried she was for her daughter to go study in the US because it is so dangerous. She was like, I don't know, there's so much gun violence. I don't know if it's safe. I was saying to her, you should be fine, avoid these places at night, avoid these cities. And then as I was saying it, it hit me. As a US citizen that lives in Mexico, this is something that I hear all the time about going to Mexico. People will say to me, I don't like you going to Mexico, it's so dangerous. Did you see the news? But the same exact thing is being said and happening about people going to visit the United States, especially right now. Growing up, we're so indoctrinated to believe that we are so lucky to be born in the United States, this place where only we have freedoms and safety. But from the outside looking in, it's completely different. People see mass shootings, gun violence, police violence, and now a government restricting rights. And they worry for their people going to visit the United States.
Arguably, America's most effective propaganda campaign has been to convince its own citizens that life outside the US is unsafe. But when Americans travel abroad, they start to see that even in other countries, people still go to work, kids go to school, Society functions. Meanwhile, we hear Mexico means cartels, Costa Rica's too expensive, Colombia's too dangerous, and Finland is just too close to Russia. But what doesn't get mentioned is that Finland is rated as the happiest country in the world, and Costa Rica and Mexico are also in the top 10. Meanwhile, the United States has fallen to the mid-20s, which is its lowest ranking ever. Some of these countries also tend to rank higher in the quality of healthcare and overall quality of life. What surprises people is not that life abroad is better. It's just how exaggerated this fear has been. And that fear has not come from real life experience. It came from us being told the same story over and over and over again until it started to sound true. So for the people who have spent real time abroad, the hardest realization has been just how much of this narrative we bought into without ever actually questioning.
No, back then, America was such a huge deal. Like when someone just mentioned that he or she comes from America or he or she is an American citizen, that was a big deal. People were like, what? But right now, America is not what people have been dreaming about. It is not the big deal, the huge deal that the world has been looking up to. And this is caused by certain reasons. Among the reasons is the leadership, is the governance. Because all these things that are happening now have been caused by their own government, have been caused by their own leaders, starting number one from Donald Trump. Since Donald Trump got the seat, things just changed in America. We just hear complaints each and every day. America is not what it used to be. Life has gotten much worse. Life has gotten expensive. Bills are so high. There is high cost of living to a point that even Americans themselves are considering moving abroad to other countries just for survival. And this is not even coming from me. As you have listened from the videos, these are words that are coming from Americans themselves. And this should be concerning to Trump. This should be concerning to the government. Because it is not right when citizens are crying out and no one is answering their cries, like no solution is being found. Instead, things are just continuing to be harder and harder each and every day. Since Trump took office, he has cut off a lot of things which were making life a bit affordable for people. He has cut off health insurance. And one of the challenges I believe in paying bills is the health insurance, because medical bills are so expensive. And so at least having an insurance that covers for that part is very important in one's life, because you don't even feel the burden of getting some cash out of your pocket and paying. It's so different when you're paying for your medical bills by cash or by insurance, because by cash you will feel how your pockets have run dry. But for the insurance, it's something that you pay after some time. But when you use it, you don't feel the pain, you don't feel the burden. He has cut that for the people. Groceries are high. Things are just expensive. Rent bills, house bills. Americans themselves feel like moving out of America. They feel like that life is not sustainable anymore. People are working really hard to pay taxes to survive in America. And that's why there is a rising rate of homelessness in America. People are just sleeping on the streets. People are sleeping in their cars because someone cannot afford a house. And these are some of the things, this is among the things that is making America not to be seen as the huge deal it was seen as before, not to be seen as heaven, as special. Or maybe Americans, you can tell me, maybe it's just how the world was viewing America before, but maybe it was not that special from back then. You see, right now, people are getting to see through social media, we're getting to learn more about things on the ground. But back then, when people are not coming out on social media to speak about their life experiences, it was not easy to know what goes on. But right now, when you just want to find some information about a certain place, you run through TikTok, you will find a lot of information. You will find how people are taking life over there. Another thing that has changed how people are viewing America right now is the high rise of unsafety, like the immigration conflict, ICE agents causing violence to people, unarmed people, to helpless people. This is something that has caused a lot of fear among many people in the world across different countries, nations, even those who admire to come to America. But when they think about especially Black people, Hispanics, Latinos, it's not easy for them. At least for white people themselves, they have the white privilege. So even as much as we complain of unsafetyness, this does not affect white people as much as these other races. This does not justify that the conflict, the violence is right. No, it is wrong, even if it's done to white people. So these are some of the things that are making people to view America in a bad way. People feel like it's a place that you can't just have a peace of mind. You can't just live comfortably because you never know what's going to happen. You wake up, go to your daily chores, you find a gunshot on your body without doing anything. Like, it's not a place that you just live and know that things are okay, especially if you live in those areas that are being affected, like Minnesota, Chicago. Trump really needs to check on this. They need to find ways of how to deal with the immigration laws, how to deal with the immigrants. It is not right what the ICE agents are doing to these people. The killing of innocent people, it is not right in any way. It is not right, and it paints a bad image of Trump and his country, his nation to the world. I believe that he should be concerned because at this rate, he might lose a lot. And he can't survive on his own. As much as the US is a powerful nation and all that, he needs other people. He needs support of other nations in certain things. There are those things that they get from other countries, from other nations. So how about that? People will continue cutting ties with America, and this will continue to affect the lives of their citizens because they will be lacking some materials, they will be lacking some things that they need to make life more easier. This rate of how the world is viewing America, the government, the US government needs to be alarmed, needs to wake up and do something about it, because right now they might say they don't need other nations, they don't need anyone else, but it is something that it will affect its citizens. For the leaders, they're okay with their lives, they have things figured out, but those people who are hurting are the citizens. The citizens are the ones feeling the pain of how things are ongoing with all the gun violence, with all the racial profiling. This affects the people. The government is not affected. To conclude on this, I would just love that the US government does something about this, because it is not a good image out there when people talk negatively about something, about a nation, about a leader. It is not okay. It is not normal. As you Americans yourselves, you can share your experiences of how things are in America, because for us, we just hear from you guys through social media, but you are the people on the ground. You can tell us, how is it? How are things over there? How is life taking you in America? And I know for Black people, it's so much because they have to deal with systemic discrimination, they have to deal with racism. Again, they have to deal with the gun violence, they have to deal with immigration conflicts. Like, it's so much on black people. But for black people, don't give up, don't lose hope. Things hopefully will be okay someday. I believe that every season comes to an end, especially on this immigration conflict with ICE agents. I believe it will come to an end. It is not something that is permanent. It is a season that needs to end as quickly as possible, because people are losing lives, people are being traumatized, families are being broken. It's not a good thing at all, and it needs to end. They need to find good ways of dealing with this issue. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and I will really appreciate. See you in the next video. Bye guys.